we decided to do something a little different because we're trying to brainstorm about ways that we could have this be fun for you guys to do together. So we're going to do a super special giveaway at the end of this. So make sure you stay tuned because it may or may not include a safe word or a code word.
Keep you posted.
Safe words in marriage. All right.
Live your life within the moment. And don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.
Welcome back to
Welcome back.
Better With You. So today we are talking about the top 7 ways to make marriage fun and to keep it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It's important.
So top 7 ways. Number 1.
All right. So before we begin this top 7 ways,
sorry, yeah.
There's an underlying thought with all of these. And every one of them is a together, like you and your spouse do this together.
Yes.
Rather, it's not an individual, event. It's a group together. And even if you do have kids, a couple of them you might want to involve the kids with, because that helps with family dynamics and healthy marriages. So yeah.
Yes, but I would say, kind of being selfish, I like my time with just you. So
Ditto.
At least just do it with each other, and then you could always kind of incorporate the kids in. So can we jump into it?
Yeah, we can jump into it. I mean, we're gonna talk through these 7 points, and we'll kind of give you some of our ways that we can, or that we can, but that we do achieve these 7 ways.
And the ways that we keep marriage fun. Okay. So, and again, wow, we're doing so many like intros in the intro, but also a reminder that this is the ways that the top 7 ways, because we just 5 was not enough and 10 was too many. So I was like, hey, how about the 7 ways? There is tons more ways, and please totally let us know about your ways that we didn't even include in this. And I think this would be fun to do more videos in the future over as with some of your suggestions that you guys have.
It'd be great. Like just an input from you, because we're bound to miss something there.
Totally.
As far as how other people that have been married can keep their marriage fun and interesting.
Yeah. So these are the 7 ways that we
came up with.
Yeah. And the first one is do the mundane things together.
Yes, the mundane. The things that you don't think are fun, that are daily life kind of things, do those together.
Yeah.
It's like a big step, like chores, like dishes, or I don't know.
Walking the dog. Doing the laundry.
Yeah. That kind of stuff. So do it together, and then try to have fun with it, like purposeful fun while you're doing something mundane.
Yeah. That you have to do anyways. Because I think a lot of times we get married and then we're just like, oh, there's that's it. Got the ring on it. We're married. And then we kind of over time can start to drift apart to live our own lives. And so this just helps us circle back and say, hey, we're in this together. We're a team. Let's do these things that nobody likes doing chores. No one likes doing the mundane things. So when you do them together, it makes it more fun. You can kind of steal kisses. You can get inside jokes. You can just talk.
And you just start to learn about that other person on what things, it goes kind of back to like strengths and weaknesses that we've probably spoken about before with doing those things together. Like maybe your strength is drying the dish and their strength is washing the dish. And then you can
Wouldn't that be nice?
I know, that'd be funny, right? But then again, your strength could not be dishes at all. I mean,
my strength is not dishes. It's not laundry.
Yeah.
It's none of those things, but I do them anyways out of love.
So number 1, do the mundane things together. Next one, number 2, I'd say picking up a healthy hobby,
Shared interest.
shared interest with each other. So, dance classes, maybe. I don't know. Not necessarily.
Would you do a dance class with
Not
me?
necessarily my cup of tea, but
You're like, no.
golfing maybe. Oh, you know what
Golfing.
we didn't cover? What is one thing that we do mundanely together?
Well, like all the things.
We do them all. Is there
Pretty-
one that
pretty
sticks out
much.
to you?
I think for us making meals together, that's now not become mundane. That's become more
Fun.
fun.
Uh-huh.
But it started out where it was mundane. It was like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna eat? It's the age-old thing that every parent, and I would say pretty much every mom, even more specifically, because even husbands will be like, oh, what's for dinner, babe? What's for dinner? And you want to like turn around and go, so I think making meals together, specifically dinner, has become something we really do enjoy
And
doing.
to that note, we've also incorporated the kids. They're getting to that age where they can cut things and they can think outside the box as far as, maybe this isn't good in that recipe and we can change it up. And it kind of just, that's the family event that
Yeah.
we've kind of settled on. And we do that almost every night, really,
Yeah.
that we're eating in the house. So,
But it started out just once a week. So like
Yeah.
you could start small with these things. You don't have to like go full bore
and listen,
into everything.
we have never had a relationship marriage where we are two ships passing in the night, as in like I work day shift, she works night shift, or vice versa. So if you are a person or a couple that has that relationship, we would love to hear what your ideas of fun are, because it's not conceivable to have some of these things done together. It's going to be hard because shifts of schedules and everything like that. So making dinner together might not be a feasible thing, but it works for us. And that's something that we've done is this, partnering each other on mundane things. So.
Yes.
All right. So back to number two, picking up a hobby, shared interest. We've already talked about, golfing together, walking the dogs together. Actually, that was the mundane. But just doing things, dance classes or exercising. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do there.
And if you don't have a hobby, this is a good time to get one. Maybe going to the shooting range together. If you have guns and you enjoy doing that, like for protection and that sort of thing, going hunting together, going fishing together, golfing, dance classes, painting. Oh, that is something I enjoy. I like doing those like wine nights where you can like drink wine and then.
Is that because it involves wine?
Definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think it has so much to do with the painting.
And we've made a conscious effort to pretty much do all of those things at one point in time of our marriage. It's not a consistent, like every week we're going to do this hobby together, but we switch the hobbies up to keep it fun and interesting and keep us engaged and learning about each other still to this day. So,
and what's nice about that too is, let's say you wanted to, I don't know, go to a reading class or not a reading class, a writing class.
I mean, there's reading classes.
You could go to a reading class.
I mean, you usually get that in elementary school, but
Okay, a writing class because you want to write a book or a manuscript or something. It's nice to be like, hey, honey, let's do this together, because then you're going to have, someone else in there with you, and you'll get your little inside jokes and you'll learn something and you'll grow in something together. Gardening, that's another one.
Even if your interests aren't aligned with it, right? So like dancing, we can use that example. Like I'm not a dancer. I'm not that into it. This girl is, but doing something like that will help get you out of your comfort zone and into a different comfort zone with your spouse. So
Right. And you can just in this and all of these things, like learn to laugh at yourself and each other, not in a mean way, but just kind of like you understand that this having fun together, that is going to incorporate not taking everything so seriously. Don't take yourself so seriously. Don't take your marriage so seriously. Don't just relax and have fun with it. So
I think inside of all of that, number two topic that we talked about with picking up a hobby or not a special interest, a shared interest. We've talked about things that we've done
Yeah.
to a point. I mean, we've golfed together in different places. We've
He loves
danced
golfing.
together. We haven't necessarily taken a dance class.
Yes, we did.
When?
We took I think it was a salsa class like years ago.
I blocked that out of my memory. That's how fun that was, I'm sure. Anyways, number 3.
He could still move. Okay.
All right. So number 3, write notes together, or not together, write notes to each other. Like
Yes.
pen and paper, kind of like actual notes, not text messages, not GIFs, whatever, emojis.
I mean,
you could do that.
in conjunction with it.
Yeah.
But there is something special about pen to paper and kind of going back to origination of those early days of you like the girl, you like the guy, and you're writing the notes, the little love notes. And so incorporate things that you notice about the person, that you like about the person. We actually even do this. We make our kids do this about each other. We'll have them not write notes. That's a little too personal, but we will have them like say, what are the top 5 things that you love about your sister? Or what are 3 things that you think your brother does really well? And this is just a good practice to have because it reminds you like, oh, as you kind of think of those things, you pause, you take a moment, you're intentional, you think about those things and you're like, oh yeah, actually, I really do like that. And I've forgotten that. So writing little love notes to each other and incorporating things that you like or love about the person or that you notice that they do. We're humans. We like to be noticed.
Another thing that I used to do when we were first married and living in a new land, as in northern part or central part of Alaska,
Yeah.
I would leave for work early in the morning because it's the Army and you do more things before the sun rises than most people do during the day.
That was a good plug there for the U.S. Army.
Yeah, right. No, but what I used to do is I used to wake up and get ready in the morning and go to the bathroom, and I would take a dry erase marker and write notes on the mirror above where her sink is or the joint sink or whatever, and just a little note of something, and then come home and erase it, or if it's gone, I don't know, because whatever, and then doing it over another day, like consistently doing that over a period of every day almost for a few years.
And you said really sweet things like, you're sexy, I like your butt.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Hey, it works.
Keeping it fun. And we're still together.
We're still together.
So that's number 3, writing notes to each other, pen and ink or dry erase and window or mirror.
I'm really excited about number 4. Can I talk about number 4?
Sure, go for number 4.
Number 4. This is my favorite topic. Sex, baby. All right. So keep sex fun in your marriage. All right. This is important. And so we have a little signal because one of us is a little more shy than the other one.
Really?
I would say. Yeah.
With what? Sex or with anything and everything?
Maybe in general, but
Okay.
also with sex. I'm there's a saying in Big Fat Greek Wedding. She goes, a woman may be a lamb in the kitchen, but she's a lion in the bedroom. It's like one of my favorite sayings. So all right, so keep sex fun, and that is something fun that you can do. You're married. Why did I marry you anyway? So I can kiss you anytime I want,
Another
right?
plug for another movie.
There's another movie, Sweet Home Alabama. I love my movies. Okay, so having a signal too kind of makes it a little mysterious, a little spicy. And so we've always through the years had like a little signal.
It changes throughout the years
It does.
because as kids get older, you got to
Yes.
keep them guessing or not necessarily guessing. You don't want them to guess. So we've had to evolve our signal, code word, whatever.
Yes. As you start getting teenagers and
Yeah,
such in the
it's-
house, you have to be a little more creative.
Yes.
It's not just like you can show up, without clothes on.
And this is like, you do it before you leave for work in the morning
Yes.
or throughout the day or something to kind of keep their not interest peaked, but like,
What kind of interest?
but kind of get their mind like, oh, this is what I have something to look forward to tonight. I don't know, however you want to think about that.
It's
but
like the foreplay,
it's like the
mind
four-
foreplay.
the four to the foreplay.
The floor to the foreplay. Yeah. But also, and what's cool about this is every culture that we have experienced kind of has their own way of doing this. When we were in South Korea and they we got our house, the woman that owns the company that we were renting from, she gifted us a pair of mallard ducks.
And it's a housewarming gift for us. And then we were
Yes.
like, what's the story with the ducks?
And it's a traditional gift given at marriage. Usually the mother or the grandmother will gift that to the couple, but it's for communication and also for little signals. Like if they're looking at each other when the man walks in from work and he walks into the door, and if the ducks are looking at each other, he knows like things are good. If the ducks like
Happy home.
beaks are like touching each other, like kissing, he knows he's gonna get some, But if they're like one's facing away from the other, he knows things are tread lightly, should have brought flowers, kind of a thing. So having a little signal, I think, is not just, obviously it's not just something we've come up with, but it's something throughout the generations and cultures that they do. And it's just fun. So what you want to tell what ours is right now?
No,
Oh, okay.
because that's for me and you,
Okay.
But
some ideas would be you could light a candle, you
Sure.
could leave a note on a mirror, you could send a text, you could ring a bell,
code
you know,
word.
you could have a code word, ooh, I really like peaches and ice cream or something. I don't know. It
Yeah.
really could be anything.
That could be one for sure.
Have sex.
Yeah.
That's a benefit of marriage. Take it to the mattresses.
Practice making babies
That's right. Practice make babies and also make babies.
and make babies.
Yeah. Because then once you have the baby in there, you can just not worry about anything else. It's not like she
Yeah.
can get pregnant twice at the same time.
Correct.
I mean, yeah, we understand the science of that. Okay, moving on.
So have sex and have a signal
Lots and lots
and
of
do what
sex.
you want to do with each other.
And okay, and also if there's things you don't like,
Communicate. Like our last episode, talk about it before something uncomfortable or unpleasant or that you're not looking forward to happens, because that could be a giant turnoff and
Yeah.
maybe make you guys start going in the opposite direction rather than togetherness. It's separateness or
Yes.
something. So
And ladies, if you need to like be in the mood or whatever, because usually girls need that a little bit more, whatever it is, you need to put on the lipstick or I don't know, whatever your like mojo is, figure out what your mojo is and then do that so that then too, you feel confident, because I think that's also a big
yeah, get your
a
own
big-
mind
Yeah.
ready, as well as getting their mind ready
Yeah.
in your own way.
don't talk about kids, don't talk about work, don't talk about any of that stuff. Like clear it out of your mind. Okay.
All right. So number 5?
Yep.
So 5 kind of ties into a few of these topics that we've already talked about, especially the last one, is taking a vacation together.
Mm,
Now, if you're able to take one multiple times a year, do that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
try to make a priority to just vacation together, as in no children if you're able to, and just go somewhere that you have always thought about or wanted to visit and experience.
Yeah, and this can be, keep it within your budget, because
Yeah,
we
for
totally
sure.
get that. Some ways that we've done it is early on in our marriage when Aaron, you guys kind of know some of our story, but when in 08, 09 with the crash, right? Then he ended up joining the military and like we were living on nothing. So when he deployed, what I did was I took just a little bit of that money each month. It was, I think, like $20 at the time. And I just put it aside. And then when we filed our taxes, we ended up getting a couple of $1,000s back. And so I wanted to surprise him. And so I put all of that money that I had saved, as well as it was a year deployment, so it was longer, as well as that tax return money. And I mean, I was thrifty with it, but we were able to go to Paris for 2.5 weeks,
It's
3
in New York
weeks.
and Paris. Total vacation time was 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So it was
it was
fantastic. It's a great way to
amazing.
rekindle the marriage, right? You've been gone for a year, and anytime that we've pretty much been gone for a long duration of time, 3, 6, 8 months or whatever, 12 months, we kind of made that vow to each other, like, well, once because it's usually been me that returns from these long times, we'll go somewhere, we'll do something.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we did early on in our marriage was we had a book that like a journal book, an empty page book, and we came up with topics. And this is something that we were doing while we were dating. We came
Yeah.
up topics like movies that maybe she has seen that I have not seen, or vice versa. And we would write the movies like, hey, I really think we should watch this movie. Or you should
Spaceballs.
you should experience this movie because of it was, I don't know, Paramount in my upbringing, not Spaceballs per se, but like that's a movie. And music and doing things. But one of the entries of that journal was places that we would want to visit or travel
Someday.
to
Yeah.
someday. So it's kind of like a bucket list journal to a point. But some of the things I've done, some of the things she's done, some of the things we haven't done together or at all in our lives. So we've made that kind of like a thing. And so that was one of the things was travel. And we kind of knocked a bunch of them off whenever I came back from long deployments.
Yeah. And so that was amazing. But sometimes it's not always going to be that. You're not going to be able to go to a foreign country like Paris, you know.
I mean, keep it local within your budget, like
Right.
she said. Like,
Right.
you know, if you're living in Dallas, then take a beach vacation if that's your thing, or go north up to Oklahoma. I don't whatever. Like, depends on where you want to
Go
go
to
and how you want to
Colorado.
go,
Yeah.
and whatever your guys' shared interests are,
Mhm.
and you know, somewhere where you guys can just be together and spend time together. It
But-
could be a couple of days, could be a week, could be 3 weeks. Just depends.
Right. So within your budget, but for sure, do it at least once a year. And you have to go outside of your city. Should we even say outside of your state?
I mean,
I
certain
mean,
states are bigger than others, like,
True.
you know,
Alaska,
Alaska,
Texas.
Texas, you know.
Okay. That's a good one.
But definitely experience time somewhere else. I do like the idea of away from your home, and every time
Yeah.
we've done it, it's been away from our state pretty much, within reason, I guess you can say. The last few times that we've gone for a weekend here or there. So, and I know people with kids, that kind of is a little wrinkle in it,
Yeah.
but that's what those grandparents are for. That's what the in-laws are for. That's what
Siblings are
for, you know.
Aunts and uncles, or a sitter, or
Sitter.
a nanny, someone that you like really can trust.
Yep.
But again, within your budget, but just do it. Like, don't make any excuses. There will always be excuses. Make this a priority. And marriage is hard work, as we know. As anyone who is married for longer than a year knows, marriage is hard work. So these are ways to keep it fun. But also, these are really good ways to stay having fun in your marriage and to continue to grow in your marriage. And so it is really important, we have found, and that I think, to take time away together, just the two of you.
Yep.
So,
All right. So that was number 5. So number 6, we kind of hinted on it with our
Yes.
previous video, and we'll kind of delve into it a little bit again. But date nights, like, make it a priority. Get dressed up to whatever
mhm.
your significant other deems sexy or
Yeah.
interesting or fun.
Take a shower,
Shave your face.
shave your legs. Yeah.
Do that kind of a thing, and make it a calendar appointment reminder to go out. And this is typically in your local city and
Yes,
neighborhood,
yeah,
or
definitely.
adjacent maybe. But find a sitter, get a sitter or in-law or sibling or
trade with the neighbor
trade with the neighbor
friend.
friend and
Yeah.
do a date night one day, and then they watch your kids and switch it around the next day.
Yeah.
But make that a priority. Like date night together when you go to that place, that make the reservations, make the plans, make the buy the movie tickets if that's your jam beforehand. Like if there's even movie theaters that are
There are.
still out there, I don't
They're
know.
opened up again.
So anyway, so do the date nights together. Make that a conscious, scheduled appointment reminder. Start off once a month, maybe work your way up to 4 times a month kind of a thing if you want.
Once a week is really just great practice.
And again, it depends on your lifestyle and how
Yeah.
busy you are and your finances and nannies availabilities and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But at least you're making an effort, and try not to cancel them. Try not to let things come up. We talked
Yeah.
about last time too, the shared calendar, which we use, and we put this stuff on there so that we know that nothing else is booked. And it could be a surprise. Like this week, I might be surprising her to go somewhere. Next week, she might be surprising me. And all she knows is I'm having a date night at whatever time on whatever day, because that's what our schedules are open for, and switch out who's making the plans for it. So not one person's just doing all the work.
And yes. And your date nights can also be like activities. So it could be a picnic basket
Or
in
like
the
wine,
car,
or like wine and painting,
or like wine and painting,
or escape rooms.
or like escape rooms. Yeah, they usually have those things. So keep it fun, but put it on the calendar and make it a priority in your life and get sexy for it. Because, yeah.
Date nights. We do it probably not once a week. Sometimes we'll do it once a week.
We
Sometimes
try.
it'll be once a month, but it's something that we've consistently done whenever I've been around, I suppose, because when
Yeah.
I'm not deployed. And that's the time to communicate and to maybe do some of these things like the dreams and not the dreams, but having a dream of like, what places do you want to visit, and kind of talking about yourself or your spouse's interests and coming up with things that are keeping your marriage spicy, I guess you can say.
And also incorporating that like little together book that Aaron was talking about, that would also be a great time.
Yeah, bring it with you.
Yeah.
And
then just talk to each other. You're not,
Yeah.
here's the thing though, there's 2 rules
Whoa.
with date nights.
What are they?
You cannot talk about work and you cannot talk about kids. Yeah. Some of you are like, what are we gonna talk about?
Maybe can you talk about making kids?
You could definitely talk about that. That is like, you might just skip dessert. You might skip the meal
Check,
altogether.
please.
Exactly. All right.
All right, so that was number
Last
6.
one.
So to recap, do the mundane things together. Number 1. Number 2.
Pick up a hobby or a shared interest.
Number 3 is writing notes to each other, like pen and ink kind of things.
Number 4 is SEX, baby.
And you said number what?
I said number 4. So
Number 5 is vacay, baby.
Okay.
Take some vacays together.
Number 6 is date nights, getting sexy with
Yep.
it.
And
Okay.
number 7 kind of leads to the big reveal
Yay, our
of giveaway. I'll let you take it from here, but it's coffee dates.
Drum roll.
But it's different. I don't know. It's different than date nights. It's coffee
Yes.
dates. So this is where you can talk about the kids.
Yep.
This is where you can
Talk about
you
work.
can talk about work and your schedule and how things are going to go about with the week upcoming and the week that just passed. What can you do better? What can you do worse? Not necessarily worse, but what could you
together.
dreaming together? Like it's kind of more of like a informal. I mean, if you want to get dressed up, I suppose you can. Depends on your local coffee house rules. It's a black tie and suit
Oh.
jacket coffee shop, which
That would be kind of
is
cool.
an interesting kind of
That is
theory.
kind of a cool
Watch.
concept.
You'll see an advertisement tomorrow about that, I'm sure. Like
Right?
the fine dining of coffee shops.
Mm. I mean, they're kind of on their way to that. Coffee shops nowadays. It's like $5-6 for freaking coffee.
But date nights.
yes,
Not date
No,
nights.
coffee dates. So
Getting together. And it could be morning, afternoon, night, whatever your schedules allow for. It
Yeah.
could be on a Saturday, it could be on a whatever. And you can be going to a coffee shop wherever you are. maybe there's an outdoor playground. Take the kids and let them run amok around in the very safe and oriented playground that's there, not on like highways or anything. And let them bring them with you is what I'm saying, and let them do their thing and play
Yeah.
board games or whatever's at the coffee shop that you guys can go to. I say coffee shop, but I mean like a coffee house kind of a place, not necessarily like a greasy
Like
spoon
Denny's.
coffee shop,
Right.
diner type thing. So unless that's where you get your coffee, I mean, I don't know, no judgment. So
So this is part of our giveaway. And so I'm going to tell you guys about that in just a minute because we really want to encourage this. This has been a huge game changer in our marriage, and the way that we approach coffee dates is more of like a team meeting, because we run our family as a team. Like Aaron and I are the coaches and the kids are the players, and running that we've got 6 kids. So everyone's schedules and activities and such, it gets really easy to just go into that survival mentality, survivor mode of, okay, we just got to get through the week. And so this is a way that we can feel on top of it, and approach it more like a team building exercise, just kind of meet up, touch base with each other and just be like, hey, like, how do you feel last week went? What do we want to do differently this week? Like what Aaron was saying, but also putting things down on a calendar. So if you really like to have your paper calendar, then both of you bring that. Or if you want to do the shared calendar, which we think it just makes life a lot easier, putting it down.
no more day planners. I don't think are out. Like, I don't think that's a thing anymore.
It is a thing. I mean, I still have a day planner.
Oh, no, I get that, but no, you know what I mean? You know, like it was the day planner. You go
Yeah.
and buy, and every year you get new sheets.
My dad
and
had
inputs.
those, and then
I
he
had
like
'em.
prioritize it. Like A
Yeah.
was like most important.
But I don't think you need that anymore unless that's your style. But I just didn't know if like you
If
still
people-
see them inside of the stores, Target and Walmart or whatever, and
Yeah.
you can buy it. But I don't think I remember seeing that ever. Like a big like monthly calendar type things or like something that you would find on the desk. I get that, but the day planner.
You guys should write in, those of you that use day planners
Yeah,
still,
right. There you go.
and like tell Aaron how wrong he is.
Would not be the
He
first time.
loves to be wrong.
I am. I'm wrong all the time. I get told all the time that I'm wrong.
He has so much practice. It's horrible. No, scratch that. Okay, so here's the giveaway. We're here in Redding, California. So for our local peeps that maybe watch this, what we want you to do to win this giveaway, it's going to be $50. So a month's worth of weekly coffee dates that you can go to one of our favorite coffee shops in town.
But here's a kicker. We're not going to
Oh.
tell them the coffee shop
Why?
because maybe they go there all the time. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they've never been there before. And that
I can't say what it is.
No. Keep it mysterious.
Okay.
Because there's a bunch of coffee shops. So we can choose one for
But
them.
we already have one.
And maybe they can experience a new coffee shop. And maybe they'll be like, oh my gosh, this place is amazing.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do an assortment. Like what do they call that when you get like an assortment of drinks? A coffee flight or something.
Okay, so we're going to give you a month's worth of coffee dates in Redding, California. So these will be cute, trending, popular coffee places that are not Starbucks. Okay.
Okay, so how are we going to choose?
Yes.
that
Okay. So
person?
this is well, I'm not done with it yet either.
I know,
So
but for the local
Okay.
Reading people,
so for the it's going to be the same way to they're just going to have a different word.
no, I think what we should do with them, this is kind of a evolving process. Tell me what you think.
Okay, go ahead.
I think to enter into this,
Yes.
they have to do the normal stuff of subscribe and say or ring the bell or whatever that's called, right? But in the comment section,
Yes.
you write your favorite local coffee shop in Redding, California. And that is your cue to be entered to win. And we will draw these randomly.
Okay. And you have to do hashtag coffee dates.
Okay.
Hashtag coffee dates
So
in the comments. So you're going to go to, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you're going to have to unfortunately do an extra step, but it'll be worth it.
true.
So go to our YouTube channel, which is at Anastasia Media, and go to this video, which will be titled 7 Ways to Make Marriage Fun and to Keep It That Way. And in the comments, you are going to enter your favorite coffee shop name if you are a local to Reading.
and if you don't have a favorite coffee shop,
Maybe
then
one you want to try.
maybe you want to try. There you go.
Yeah. And these places all have tea as well. So if coffee's not your jam, hot
Yeah.
chocolate, cider, like
Sure.
don't worry about it. And then and then the other thing that you're going to do is you're going to do hashtag coffee date.
And hashtag, for those of you that don't know, is an octothorpe.
Wow. Who
Boomer.
doesn't know what a hashtag is in 2023?
Keeping
Okay.
it interesting.
So hashtag coffee date, your favorite coffee shop name. If you are local, Redding, California, you're going to get a month's worth of, and we will announce it on the next podcast. So you have to subscribe. You have to
ring the
put
bell.
the hashtag. Oh, ring the bell. Put the hashtag in, hashtag coffee dates, and then your favorite coffee shop. Okay. This might be too complicated. I don't know.
No,
All right.
it's not.
Okay. And then
Comment.
yes. And then for those of you that are not in Redding, California, but maybe you're in another place in California or Texas, Tennessee, Uganda, Malaysia, I don't know, some other really cool place, then you are going to get a month's worth of Starbucks coffee dates.
Unless your country doesn't have Starbucks, and I'm sure there's a few out there. I don't know where they're
Starbucks
at,
is
but
in like every place that I've
we
been.
can iron that out with the winner.
Okay, true.
But what do they have to do to enter?
Same thing. You're going to go subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment under this video. And so you'll have to find that if you're doing it on the podcast, and everybody has YouTube these days. And then you're going to
Just hashtag it.
hashtag coffee date, and you can put,
Maybe the country you're in.
yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be kind of neat to see.
Yeah.
So the country that you're in and the hashtag coffee date.
Perfect. And then we're going to pull. So we will have 2 winners. And we're going to do these giveaways once a month. We're going to start with once a month. Hopefully we can increase it.
Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Maybe it's just too complicated and we'll have to adjust how things are going. But for now.
Well,
we'll
this
do
was fun. Thanks for doing this with me, babe.
Yes. So again, if you guys have any other ideas of how to make your marriage fun or interesting, comment down below. We'll do our best to respond and update this list, maybe.
Yes.
With
update it.
some viewer / listener additions, submissions.
Yeah.
And we'll go with that. Maybe another podcast later, we'll do a revisiting top 7, and we'll talk only about the ideas that you guys came up with, that you guys keep it fun and
Mhm.
interesting and spicy.
I love that.
So.
That's great.
Thanks for listening.
Ready. I'll see you guys next time.
Next time. Stay tuned for the winner.
Winner, winner,
Bye.
chicken dinner.
So let's dance the side away.